girls in glass faces, perfect bodies, perfect faces. They all belong in magazines.
This is the presentation for our story called Desert Sunflower. About the structure and the themes of the story, Desert Sunflower is a realistic fiction narrated by Nathan, our main character, in first person's point of view. The story shows how neurodivergent people are misunderstood in current society while also showing gender norms as a social construction and how that affects autistic people. The story takes place in Arizona in 1943. It was Nathan's birthday, and because he was turning 18 and becoming an adult, he decided to wear his sister's white dress. Due to the dress, he was beaten by a group of boys in the street. When he gets to his aunt's house, he tells how he, as a neurodivergent person, did not understand why a dress is associated with a certain gender. Inspired by the character Forrest Gump, Nathan is a 18-year-old autistic person who lives in a period of history where mental disorders were not taken seriously. He is full of doubts about the social construct that revolves around gender and does not understand the hate he gets just because of a beautiful white dress. Inspired by the character of the show Anne with an E, Jo is the one who comforts Nathan. Ahead of her time, she understands and respects Nathan's feelings and thoughts. Nathan's sister is a secondary character who has a few fights with Nathan in regard to the stolen white dress. Our short story is divided in the chapters Desert and Sunflower. Desert is where the story begins. Nathan found himself lying on the floor after he was beaten because of a white dress. He felt confused about how people stared at him, so he looked for comfort in Joe's house. Sunflower is the second and last chapter, when Nathan already felt safe because of Josephine's presence, someone who always shows the boy affection, and he had opened up about his worldviews and how he gets hurted because of them. Symbolically, the first chapter represents the pain and the repression that Nathan suffered, and the second one represents his flourishment. The actual desert sunflower. It is a flower typical of Arizona, state where the story takes place. The flower resists extreme temperatures and can blossom even in hot and dry climates, such as the desert. In Greek mythology, the first sunflower was born after a nymph spent cold nights feeling very sad. The sun, who she was in love with, felt bad and made roots grow in her feet and put a beautiful flower on her face. How current it is. The reality of the story still is unfortunately very common, not only for autistic people, but to anyone who dares not follow in the social pattern. When creating the story, we had a goal to show how mental disorders are misunderstood and disrespected, while also reporting that the binary idea of gender forces people to not act how they want to. Well, by the morning, I jumped out of my bed so quickly that if I wasn't too happy to notice, surely I would feel dizzy. My mom was taking my sister for her piano class, so I was alone. I could feel the youth getting out of my body and the adulthood coming in. I was completely radiant because today's the day I have prayed every night for it to come faster. I have turned 18 and being a big man never made me so excited because now I can decide things by myself, and that certainly includes wearing my sister's prettiest white dress. It is so beautiful, I wish I had it just for me. I prepared myself the sweetest breakfast ever and went to her room. It was beautiful. Her room was yellow and had antiques all over it, but what really interested me was behind her closet door. The dress was short,
Certainly, my mother wouldn't let me wear anything that showed my knee, even though I was a big man and not a little boy anymore. So I was glad I found myself alone. The laced hem of the dress, the close collar, and the short sleeves were more than appropriate to set their summer. When the soft fabric touched my skin, I really felt gracious, just like a princess. I hurried up so I could show you how beautiful I was, but shortly after I went out, things started to change.
Those girls the boys are chasing, winning all the games they're playing.
The last thing I remember is that a group of 7 boys, young ones, surrounded me. They would through punches and kicks, but I wouldn't fight to defend myself. I didn't have the time. At the same time, they would scream, "Faggot, faggot." I don't really know what that word means, but I don't believe them. I'm not anything they say I am. I am just a man who wants to wear a dress. The aggressions got to a point where I couldn't stand being awake anymore. But it's okay. It's okay. It's going to be okay. I'm going to be just okay. I told myself that several times until I fell asleep.
But I'm a sunflower, a little funny. If I were a rose, maybe you'd pick me. But I know you don't have a clue.